Lots of ice in the milk going. Oh, hey, honey, I mean.
But yeah, and I was away with A.
That over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, I got another honey for you. Swamps. She's in the
I was looking at a recipe to make it.
And she brags about it all.
Great me and you drink.
Like having brags about it all. It's so nice to sit. Totally relaxed. So I would recommend as well. She's in the pool relaxed.
Yeah.
Righty, let's get it started.
You're just delivering an email.
Can I not get,
Jason, you good?
Yeah. You guys trying to start?
Yeah.
That's a nice way to say.
Thank you, Jason. All right, let's start this meeting on July 8th, 2025, 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Richardson,
Present.
Councilmember Crossman,
Here.
Councilmember Kangeiser,
here,
Councilmember Hess,
Yep.
Councilmember Johnstone,
Here.
Councilmember Kaminsky, Mayor Pinto,
Here.
and Councilmember Wood is out of town, but he's trying to join right now, so I will let you know when he joins.
Sounds good. Thank you. Can we move on to agenda approval? For us,
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
is there a second? Second by Councilmember Kaminsky. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to special presentations. There's none scheduled. Moving on to public comment. If anyone wish to address council myself, you can please stand up at the podium and fill out a blue card. If not, keep going. All righty. Moving on to set agenda. We have the May 30th to 31st, 2025 City Council retreat minutes, the June 10th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, the June 24th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve? Councilmember Kaminsky.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Hess. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to new business, we have resolution number 660, entering into an interlocal agreement negotiation with Thurston County. Gary.
Thank you. Good evening, council. I'm here to introduce resolution 660 for your consideration. This would authorize city staff to negotiate an interlocal agreement with Thurston County to complete an annexation of several areas of our urban growth area. And I believe there was a map in your packet that kind of showed the areas that we're looking at. We're required by the state statute to do this interlocal agreement process as a first step in doing the annexation. This would not actually complete the annexation. It would just be us developing an interlocal agreement to set the boundaries and maybe some of the responsibilities for transferring stormwater and getting information about road maintenance, that kind of stuff. Once the interlocal agreement is complete, then we would come back with an ordinance. At that time, adopting the ordinance would complete the annexation.
Councilmember Crossman.
Move to approve resolution number 660.
Councilmember Richardson.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Councilor Hess.
I know that we discussed this during the study session, but for the public to fully understand. This annexation that's occurring for those right now, it's basically we are closing off islands and little itty bitty thin strips. In other words, it's to not fully round out our city limits, but to get part of it done. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's called correcting irregular boundaries in the statute. And I did forget to mention that we did discuss this at a study session and at the Public Services Committee. And this particular section of the code applies to areas that are more than 60% surrounded by city boundaries as it is. So these all technically qualify meeting that criteria.
Any further questions? Councilor Hess.
And it's just, again, to help people understand the process, what's happening. Due to when they come and they get annexed, one of the big fears that I always hear from people, if I don't want to be annexed to the city because my taxes are going to go up, this, that, the other thing. And in reality, their taxes, we're able to actually show that they go down. Is that correct? And that services improve because they're now getting from the city and not relying on the county.
It depends. almost all the time they do go down, but it depends on how the county road tax fluctuates. So it could, if they do go up, it would be minimally. But it's almost a wash as far as property taxes go.
Just for the public's, Councilmember Wood is joining us on Zoom here. Top, just raise your hand, council member, if you want to have a question or speak. Good to have you with us, though. You're on mute at the moment. Thank you. Councilmember Hess.
And just my last one, to also include all the things. They are not required to get onto our water or required to tap into our sewer as long as they have a working well and a working septic system and such. Is that correct?
Yeah, the requirements wouldn't change at all. If you're in the urban growth area or in the city, the requirement is you only have to connect if you're within 200 feet of a sewer or water line and you have a failed well or septic system. If everything's well maintained, there's no requirement to connect, but that applies right now even for them in the UGA.
And I appreciate you answering my questions. Thank you.
Councilor Kaminsky.
Gary, so even for new construction, that would be the same, as long as there were good utilities, you wouldn't have to.
Well, for new construction, that would be different. This is just for existing wells and septics.
But if my old house falls down and I want to build a new one and connect to the well and septic I had.
Functioning well, yes, you can.
So I thought,
Gary, does passage lock us into anything, or does it just allow us to negotiate?
Just to negotiate, doesn't lock us into anything. That would come at the time of being presented in ordinance.
Thank you. Any further questions? It's been motion second to approve, adopt resolution number 660. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion, any opposed say nay? Thank you. Any opposed say nay? Motion carries. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, council. And you got the note that Councilmember would vote yes. Excellent. All right, moving on to old business. There is none scheduled. Moving on to standing council committee reports, starting with the Public Safety Committee.
We had a wonderful meeting. We have new hires in reference to them. All three of our new hires are in the academy at this time. We're looking at one of them graduating in August, one in January, and when January comes around, all three will be on duty. So we will have a total of 21 officers at that point in time. The flock system, it's working out really well. From May to June, there were that 30 days, we had a total of 900 hits that were read by Yelm alone. Out of that, 156 officer searches were done for the evidence needed. 83 stolen plates, 42 stolen vehicles, one missing person, with a total of 22 cases closed, and 10 of those were recovered stolen vehicles. So the flock system is really doing well for what we pay for it. And they're waiting for the 4 new ones to come in. In addition, the company has approached some of the local businesses of having a trailer. They have a remote trailer that can be utilized that the example given of Walmart, something happens in Walmart, that's a crime. As the person exits, the flock system will be able to see the car that takes off and get it into the system and registered if the officers tag it and all. So that is something that they're looking at for the businesses. In reference to our vehicles, we've had some discussions about graphic changes to having them either be black and white, keep them the same. And so the chief has been looking at that. Right now, until we get a change coming before the council and having an approval, they're going to stay the way they are. But he has a few graphic changes that he's looking at the costs, trying to figure out the best way to go about doing that. For SRO contract, as was discussed during the study session, it's going to be a 1-year contract instead of the normal 3. We're providing 2 SROs for the same price that we normally do, of $75,000 per officer. We're hoping that as time goes on and the budgets kind of start getting a little bit better for the school district, we'll be able to bring in. The hope is a total of 4 SROs, 1 at the high school, 1 at each middle school, and 1 for all the elementary schools. Then we had the passport fair. that worked out really well. Total of 46 applications that were taken care of. They had appointments that were made as far away as Oregon and Richland Tri-City area. And how the one in Oregon found out was when they made the announcement and they set this up. The Department of State also put it out as one of their announcements. So it was a very good success and looking forward to doing another one next quarter. Let's see, the court system, they're in the process of getting ready to update to the enterprise justice system. That will be in, it will go live October 4th, 2027. Right now is when they begin the prep to learn about the new system, get everything ready to start uploading. And the only thing from our court people that they're requesting is, and it'll come down soon, is 4 to 5 scanners, just because of how that system works, and it'll be a lot more efficient for them. So they're looking forward to that. With the fire department, we had, they announced that they had 1 new hire. There are 2 to 3 new hires for 2026. And for the 4th of July, they had 10 firefighters on duty. And speaking of the 4th of July, there we go. And I did get some numbers. This comes from our fire department, and I just asked for it because this was considered a light year. What I mean by a light year is July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. No, that wasn't as it's been in the past where people are launching like it's the 4th of July. For the 4th of July, just Yelm alone, there was a total of 16 calls for fires. Engine 21, which is ours, responded to 10. There were 6 of them that we depended upon outside agencies from Lacey, Bald Hills, East Olympia, and South Thurston / Tenino. And outside of the city limits, there was just 7 of those. Hopefully we'll get some more information as time goes for the next month. And we had, when it comes down to property damages with inside city limits, there were two houses that were damaged, 2 outbuildings that were destroyed, a travel trailer was damaged, as well as unknown number of fences that were damaged by the fireworks and brush fires. So, and the reason why I want to bring this up, one for my council mates, is at some point, I don't want to take away 4th of July. I don't want to take away the fireworks, but my concern, which has been a concern for the past year plus, being on public safety, is,
Councilmember Hess, let's keep it to the Public Safety Committee.
right, that's what I was gonna say, is that with public safety, we have 1 fire truck. And so we need to look forward on those. And then the chief went to an extreme heat tabletop exercise, and it was really good. And for residents within the city, we're gonna try to get the message out that for vulnerable adults, they can sign up on the city website for, to announce that in this house, there's a vulnerable adult so that it's easier to check on them. Other than that, nothing else, unless I forgot something.
Councilmember Crossman?
Question in regard to the flock system, do you guys have discussion of how to improve the turnover rate? Because you say you had 900 hits, but only 22 cases closed. 10 of those were stolen, you said, so only a quarter of the stolen cars are recovered. Did you guys talk about how to improve those numbers?
I don't think we discussed that.
We didn't discuss that, but to answer.
Is that something that's highlighted of, it's such a small fraction of what's being caught by the cameras, yet what's being taken care of?
When they
You
talk about,
understand what I'm saying?
when they talk about the case closed, that's within the city of Yelm. If any vehicle traversing past any one of the flock systems going through Yelm will trigger. So it may have been that out of the 42 stolen vehicles, just 10 of them will have just been from the Yelm itself, where that our officers were investigating. So that's how that system works. And so, yes, I mean, we're tracking it. We're hoping to, as the chief put it, it is a system that is almost the equivalent of having another officer on duty 24/7, looking at nothing but the vehicles to find out what's stolen or what's out there for a amber alert, gray alert. Is it gray or silver alert? Silver alert, and all the various other things. So they are, we're getting good results on our investment there.
All righty, thank you. Moving on to Public Services Committee.
No meeting.
Moving on to Finance Committee.
No meeting.
Moving on to General Government Committee. All right, moving on to Mayor City Administrator staff reports. Todd.
No meeting? No, just kidding. Couple of updates, as mentioned, police department. I just have a few on that. Obviously, the 4th of July was very busy. As expected, officers were helping the fire department, help put out some fires, as well. And then, of course, most of you probably, heard the unfortunate incident that occurred Sunday evening. A Yelm officer was in a pursuit, that left Thurston County into Pierce County. The driver of the vehicle that was being pursued ended up getting into an accident with an oncoming driver. That driver was ejected from the car and died at the scene. The driver that was hit, the innocent driver coming the other way that was hit, did have some medical issues, but they're going to be okay. The officer was not injured, and the patrol vehicle was completely totaled during that event. State Patrol is doing the investigation, and they'll do what they call a full reconstruction of the incident. It takes a couple weeks for everything to come in, but the chief will get that when that's completed as well. Public Services Department, they're doing some WRF testing this week, and then the construction on the trail over the bridge will start anytime as well. Several employees attended the Chamber of Commerce Member Appreciation event today. For those attendees won the big raffle prize, just saying. Pretty exciting day. Seattle to Portland bike ride this Saturday coming to town. Community conversations take place tomorrow night at the community center at 6 o'clock. And I just want to let the council know that on the 23rd, Wednesday, the 23rd at noon, we're doing our annual employee appreciation barbecue lunch for the employees. And the council is invited to attend and be a part of that if you'd like to. That's all I got.
Thank you, Todd. Just to add to the community conversations, this is the one that we do quarterly in the evening. So folks that can't make it during the monthly community conversation during the day can have an opportunity to still hear what's going on in the city and voice concerns, stuff like that. So I'd recommend if you can make it, show up tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the community center. It's a very casual setting. We have a lot of back and forth questions and answers and updates on what's going on. Other than that, I do want to say thank you to our police officers. I know firefighters are mainly the ones that get a lot of the recognition for 4th of July, as they should, but we also had a lot of support for them as well through our police department. So they were out there literally putting out fires as well and helping out with the fire control and stuff like that. So thank you to our police officers. We got a nice note from the assistant chief, the captain, and thanking us for our police officers for their help. Other than that, I am meeting with Chief King here in a couple weeks to go over a few different priorities for the city as well as for them, and go over what happened on 4th of July, any more, and any other incidents around. And lastly, we will be having a Veterans Quarterly meeting coming up in 2 weeks, and I'll be meeting with leadership from the VFW and Legion to just go over issues and concerns that they might have in the veteran community. And Councilmember Hess, I believe, is attending as well on that one. And that's all I've got. Councilmember reports. We'll start off with Upper Wood. Looks nice and cold there.
It's actually not right now, but it's because it's only 5 o'clock here. But I have not had a chance to attend any meetings. I've been on my Harley the last 11 days, but I've seen some pretty crummy roads, and I'm thankful for our roads in Yelm a lot more so than I was when I left. I gained quite a bit of perspective on that, and other than that, I don't really have a report. Appreciate you guys being quick like that, so I can get back on my Harley.
Thank you, and you enjoy your time up there, Councilmember Wood. Councilor Richardson.
Nothing to report.
Councilor Crossman.
Nothing worthwhile.
Councilmember Kingheiser.
Well, so I was also at the Chamber Forum today and watched Todd take home the huge customer appreciation prize. That was really cool. There was so many little prizes and games, and it was really neat to see kind of a packed house and so many businesses all together. There's so many summer events that have been blossoming, both from the Chamber and the city. So definitely check out our website. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was Actually got one of these in the mail from our Southeast Thurston Fire Authority, and I thought it was really neat that I don't know where to hold that so Tracy can see it. I thought it was really neat. I just want to read a quick sentence here. First, the good news: Southeast Thurston Fire Authority continues to operate under a balanced budget and has passed every independent financial and accountability audit conducted by the state. This integrity and accountability is important. We understand that we're entrusted with public funds and we take that responsibility seriously. They're a really great group of people to sit in on their meetings. It's really been fascinating just kind of hearing how fire authority interact. Again, that's not my love language. I'm grateful that I'm on the committee, so I'm learning this. And so it's really neat to see this come in the mail. And then after, 4th of July, Brian pretty much covered everything that I was going to share. One of their big things is wildland fires. There's really been an uptick in this trend. And so you'll see new signs that are out there. My email won't open, but there's several right here in town as you're literally traveling the main avenues. And it's just neat to be able to see the fire threat move so you can kind of act accordingly. That's it.
Councilor Hess.
From Intercity Transit, it's before our big barbecue festival. The South Sound Barbecue Festival will be Saturday, July 12th, from 11 to 7 at Huntemer Park. They will have the bubble bus there, and they will have their staff people there to talk to anybody that wants to talk about intercity transit and learn from it. As well as they put it good food from local vendors. I don't want to take away from ours because ours actually is a little bigger and better than theirs, I believe. So, and with the luncheon, that was a wonderful event. I appreciate the invites to those and looking forward to the next one. Other than that, nothing else to report.
Councilor Johnstone.
I had my first regional housing council meeting. It was a pretty simple meeting. We just discussed an upcoming retreat. And that, no report.
Right. Councilor Kaminsky.
I didn't have any meetings, but I had a question for Todd. Now that the weather is perfect and hot, have they made any initiation toward looking into painting the buildings, the city hall and our other city hall?
Painting this building?
On the outside.
Yes. Not that we haven't got any new updated bids.
Who would be in charge of doing that? Public Services?
Yeah, well, the last bid we got, I believe, was over 30,000 just for the roof alone to paint the roof. So I think we just kind of paused that temporarily until we had a better plan on what we're gonna do with this building long term. So
I was just thinking of like the concrete part, not even
you mean just like the brick out front? Yeah, I don't know that we got a bid to paint that. I think it was just for the roof.
If it's just for the stripes on the bottom, we could probably get that done fairly soon. But
Yeah.
if it's
the weather is so good, this would be.
Yeah, we don't have a bid for that. It was just for the roof, I want to say.
Nobody can even see the roof. But the rest of the building where the concrete is covering us up.
They did patch that. They have patched
I
that.
see that word, see, it definitely looks like a
Different.
patch.
No, it's different. I agree. I'll talk to Cody about it. We'll see if we can get a bid to get that done.
Okay, thank you.
anything else? Councilor Crossman.
That reminded me of special thanks to Public Services for cleaning up the main drags. It was starting to look a little ratty and they went through and made it look all nice again. Special thanks to them, and I think the building just needs to be pressure washed.
So, all right,
And painted.
there is no executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. We are adjourned.